Hey, everybody. My name is Todd Ronan, and I'm with Liz Cross, and I wanted to wish you a happy April Fool's Day, a bit belatedly. If you live in California and you're selling your mansion, you got a great April Fool's Day joke. How are you, Liz?
I'm great. Thank you. Unlike these very wealthy people that are trying to sell their homes in California.
Yeah,
Wow.
luckily it doesn't apply to me, but if you're living in California and your home is over like $3 million to $5 million, you spend an extra, I think, 4% tax on it. Or then after the $10 million, it's a 5.5% tax on it. So the rich are really getting kind of ruined by that and upset by that. It's kind of really going to stall. Let's see what it's going to do.
Yeah, I think the big concern here is the developers. Listen, you all know that I love Million Dollar Listing, right? I have loved that show for years and years and years. It's my show, right? Like I always say, Josh Flagg, if you're listening, call me. I'll give you free CTT sessions all day long. I love Josh Flagg. Anyway, it's going to be a problem for the developers because the developers are buying, large homes. They develop them, then they turn around and try to sell them for a profit. And they're saying that tax is about 20 to 30% of the developer's overall profit. And the concern is it's going to run the developers out of town. So you're already starting to see developers snap up property outside of LA. This is only an LA law, by the way.
Okay.
Orange County and like Malibu and those places, they haven't got this yet. But yeah, so let's probe. Who should we probe? Should we probe LA as a whole, move it out into the future and see how this has affected them?
Yeah, we could do that. I don't know who came up with the idea, but we could propose the author of the tax and find out what their goal is in this project.
This was an idea of a few people. I know. How are we going to raise the money? That's what I'm getting. So let me group them together as an entity, and do you want me to move them out, or you want to start asking them questions from
Let's
here?
start asking questions right now about the
Okay.
impetus and the idea behind the tax. What was their goal? Were they altruistic or were they not?
No, they're not altruistic. No. They needed to raise money. LA is like a sinking ship. It's losing money beyond belief. It's not good.
And that was their goal, to raise money for the city, to get more city money. What problems were they trying to attack with this extra money?
Well, they're only going to give a small fraction of that money to the homeless. So 10%. Yeah, there you go. Right. 10% was going to the homeless. The rest is the running of the government. They're out of money, folks. I mean, they're just out of funds here.
Will this help build infrastructure for them? I guess we're asking now. Or is this just is this money going to disappear and not go into the coffers of Los Angeles?
Is this money going to be helped to build infrastructure? No, this is about running the government. This is about the expenses of the government. They're running in a deficit, the LA government, and they're trying to dig themselves out of a hole.
They're digging themselves out of a hole. How does this help the homeless, and what are their plans to put that 10% towards the homeless population? How will they use that? How do they plan to use that? And then we'll find out if they did use that.
Okay, how do you plan to use it? I mean, they're lining their own pockets, right? The government pockets. They're trying to stay afloat. And I'm saying, To me, like, I know LA is big. I've been there. It's huge, right? It's the only place that I know that had a traffic report on a Sunday way back when, right? The highways were always choked.
Oh,
Um,
it like 3 in the morning you can drive around LA and it's still just insane traffic. Like it's always busy if you've never been there.
and I love LA. Like, I like California. It's great. I like the California people. Malibu is beautiful. Santa Barbara.
It's
Um,
beautiful out there.
it is. It is beautiful. And there's a lot of money in LA. But see, as I'm saying, there's a lot of money in LA. Those people, the government that came up with this plan, they're saying, no, we're broke. And I'm saying, why are you so broke? Because, they're saying, money is leaving. Why is money leaving? Because they can't afford to live here. Oh, so here you go. With the recent spate of inflation, they're saying to me, people are leaving. They're cutting back on their spending. They're not spending like they used to. Sales tax, local taxes are not being collected. And this has been going on for a long time. Spending is down. It's been going down over the years. And it just looks as if, like, the government running has outgrown the level of spending, the taxes that are coming in. And they're saying, money is leaving. It's not staying in LA. So therefore, they're having to make up this deficit to run the government. Now, what exactly are you going to give to the homeless population? They're going to they're going to try and set up like food, shelters, accommodation. And they're also going to try and buy them bus tickets out of there. Wow. So you're trying to get rid of your homeless population. Yes, because they're saying the homeless population in LA is totally out of control. And they're saying it's not good for tourism. Okay. So they're going to try and give them bus tickets out of there and give them a better life somewhere else, house them in other cities. You guys, I bet they didn't say that. I bet that wasn't on the memo, but that's the thinking behind all of this. Now, how do you think this is going to affect the housing market overall? They're like, well, we're gonna get the people where it hurts, as in, and their reasoning and their opinion coming in behind this is they can afford it.
They can't afford it. They're not contributing to LA. I mean, the homeless population is really not contributing to their problem, right? Their problem is we're out of money. And so that's their solution, is to bust them out and get the homeless out and also get the millionaires out by trying to sell their houses. Are there any workarounds that the millionaires are working on to circumvent, I guess, the mansion taxes?
What's so interesting is you were just saying that they disagreed with you. They disagreed with you on getting the millionaires to sell their houses. They don't want them to sell their houses. They want them to stay. They want their money to stay in LA. There's this, okay, so that's really interesting to me. So when you say they're selling and moving, where are they going? They're going out of state. Okay. So this is also a preventative to stop or certainly curtail people leaving the city. They need your money in the city, right? Look how telling this is. Man, this is an excellent probe. I love this. Honestly, Altman, I should be on your payroll. Josh Altman, I love the Altman brothers. I love Tracy Tudor. I even love Madison, and I love the Brits. They should all just call me. Call me.
Well, let's talk to them too. Let's bring them in.
Okay. Oh, I love this. This is like, okay, this is my dream job right here. I'm now going to probe $1 Million Listing. So their season just ended. They've got to spice it up. That last season was a little dry, guys. Little dry. A little dry. You don't have enough differing personalities in there. Oh, there he is. There's Altman. I love him. I just love
All right.
all of them. Yeah, even though he can be mean and this and that and the other. Oh God, I love it. But they've got to get some balance of personalities in. So having the Malibu Ken is what they called him. I love Madison, but you guys just keep running people out of there. You keep running the Brits out. The Brits were great. They brought in this nice balance. Now it's too one-sided. Anyway, that's just me trying to fix their show because I love it so much. Okay, so I'm going to group our $1 million listing people and I'm going to move them out. How far should we move them out? 2 years?
Let's say, well, let's go after spring. So let's say June 2025. Yeah, it gives it a couple of years plus the springtime sell-off.
Ooh, aren't you smart? Okay, let's go. They're giggling. They're loaded. They're loaded. June, let's see, June 30th, 2025, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Did Tracy Tudor marry her boyfriend? No, she's never getting married again. Okay, I just had to ask that. Josh Flagg remarry? Ooh, he's with someone. Are you going to get married? He just loves the idea of marriage, and I don't know why. Are Heather and Josh Altman still together? Yeah, they're still together. All right, Altman brothers still doing well? Great, yeah, all going well. Okay, what would you like to know?
We're going to ask them now questions about the real estate market in Los Angeles. And how did that mansion tax affect the sales of mansions in LA?
Ooh, how's the mansion tax? Oh, diabolical, right? Diabolical. It has really hurt the real estate market in LA. Okay. Why? Because nobody wants to sell their homes, right? These guys can't make money if homes are not for sale and they're not, turning over a profit. They've had to completely restructure their business. Is $1 Million Listing still going, LA? Ooh, see, I feel like they're getting to the final seasons now. I feel
Wow.
like even the show is going to be cut because it's not as exciting anymore. How have the developers fared? Some are still around, but a lot of them have left LA.
Where's the new hot market?
Where's the new hot market? Okay, I don't know why they said this. San Diego.
Wow.
What about Orange County and Malibu? Are they thinking of putting in similar laws? No, they're not thinking of putting in similar laws. But people are looking at the money that California is raking in from this, right? And you cannot sell your property over $5 million unless you pay this tax. And it's put a lot of people in a big bind.
Have they found any workarounds for this mansion tax?
Have they found any workarounds for the mansion? Yeah, there's several workarounds. Transactions are being made offshore. Private transactions are being made, right? Seller to, buyer to seller, paying the money offshore. Okay.
How about with cryptocurrencies? Do they get much mansion sales paid through crypto?
Do they get a lot of mansion sales paid through crypto? They've had some people that were crypto people, but they always converted the crypto into cash. They're saying, in fact, Altman's the ones coming through saying, yeah, I'm sure they're doing crypto deals, but it's cutting these guys out, right? Because now they're having to kind of do private deals. You're having to really work around this law. Do you see this law going away? There have been protests and people trying to get rid of this law, particularly developers, but it's just not going away. They're raking in too much money. Now, what is interesting to me is they're going to say, well, look how much we've helped the homeless population. Well, yeah, but they put them on buses and trains out of there, right? So they're going to say, oh, we've cleaned up the city with this mansion tax money, but they haven't. All they've done is line their pockets. And you'll think, oh, well, yeah, our money's going to some good use. Now the homeless population is cleaned up. No, they're busting them out of there. People, they're
90% idea tax. Yeah, well, I came up with that and I gave 10% to the homeless and I took 90%. It's my
Yeah, the government, and they're all getting pay raises, right? Because they're essential employees. I feel like they had to boost the money for the police department. I mean, I don't know if you've ever dealt with the LA police department and the cops, but I mean, they're stretched. I've worked on a couple of homicides out there, right? As a psychic. And they are deeming things that are suicide that are clearly not suicide just to close the case and move on to the next one. They're so backed up there, it's ridiculous. So yeah, it's like this is government money, and they'll say, well, yeah, we've cleaned up the homeless population because we bust them out of here. But you don't know that. You don't know that they're being bussed out. You think that, oh, they're being housed and they've been given clothes and jobs and food, and they're having a nice they're having a nice standard of life. You have no idea that they're living, and you know where they're planning to send them? Are you ready, Ronan? Okay, you ready?
Do I need to put up the walls in Texas?
Texas. Ooh.
Yep. I've seen that coming for a while.
Have you? Oh.
Unfortunately. What is the percentage of how down are they, I guess, in their business? How did this affect them 2 years out? We're still in 2025, June. How much of your business was impacted? What percentage do you feel was lost because of this tax?
Business has been down 1%, by about 20%, but they've had to completely restructure and go outside of LA. So they're having to grow and take in more area, and they're having to cover new ground. So you're going to see them branching out. I mean, this is huge for them.
Does he have a helicopter to get from place to place now?
Ooh, did you see that episode?
No, I've never seen the show.
The episode where Altman and his brother, they rented a helicopter to impress these potential sellers, and they landed.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, they landed on.
Does he own his own helicopter now?
You own your own helicopter now? No, they rent. They rent private planes and helicopters. Yeah, but do you have to yeah, they're having to fly. They're having to jet set all over the place now to basically cut deals elsewhere. They're also dealing in New York. So it looks like they're moving into the city. They're doing more condo investments as well. They're trying to stay under that 5 million mark as much as possible. Some people, he's saying to me, Altman saying, some people don't sweat that. They're just so wealthy that the tax doesn't even matter. But what it is they're not willing to rebuy in LA, right? So he says they're driving the millionaires and the billionaires who can't afford to pay the tax. You're driving them out of here. And they're also driving the prices up as well.
Where were the hottest markets in 2023 to invest in real estate across the country?
So what are the hottest? Is LA still a hot market? LA's not really still a hot market. Santa Barbara's hot. San Diego, I keep getting San Diego. Las Vegas is becoming hot, but I knew that because of their last show. But he's saying Las Vegas. Let me ask him this question. Those of you that are fans, if you saw that last episode, the last 2 episodes where they were going to Vegas, they were already starting to, they've been asked to go to Vegas to sell these sight unseen properties. How did that go? No, he gave me a thumbs down. Total disaster. They pulled out of the deal.
Spoiler alert. They pulled out of
Spoiler
the
alert,
deal.
yeah. As in the Altman brothers, they pulled out of the deal. It was taking too much time, costing too much money. It was an impossible dream to sell. We just couldn't focus all our time. It was taking up too much time. They couldn't focus on selling. They sold maybe a couple of things out there. He said, do you believe anybody wants to buy out there? He's like, no, nobody, they don't want to live out there. They don't want to live in Vegas. All right.
What celebrities is he most moved by?
Oh, what celebrities are you most moved by? He likes boxers, right? He likes, that's a good question. What about music? He's not so much into the musicians, actors and actresses. No, he says, God, no, they're high maintenance. They put him through the ringer. But he likes sports and athletes. I feel like he has a lot of respect for boxing. Well, there you go.
Thank you very much. Now, I guess we can go back to the authors of the bill too in 2025, since thank you for joining us, sir. In the 2025 June, do they feel that their bill was successful, and have they exacted penalties on people for trying to circumvent the mansion tax?
Ooh, that's a good question. Excuse me. Let's go June 30th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Have you imposed penalties on people that have tried to circumvent the mansion tax? No, they can't find where they're circumventing. It's all within the law. So there's nothing they can do. Do you believe people have been circumventing? Yeah, absolutely they do. And they want to nail them, but they can't nail them within the confines of the law. So
I've heard that if you're trying to sell tickets to an event, don't take this advice, by the way, you can stand outside and sell $100 piece of gum and then give people a free ticket. Are people trying to circumvent the mansion tax how are they doing it? By trying to get around selling their house?
They're splitting the property.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're splitting the property. So they're saying, this part of land, this bit, those that are mortgage free, right? Those that are cash buyers. And they're able to do that. Now, if you're bound by a mortgage, you can't really do that because everything's written into the mortgage, all the property, all the things. But those cash buyers, they're circumventing by selling 3 different or 4 different or 5 different parcels for under, $5 million. That's how they're doing it. But mortgage, this is frozen the LA market. This is frozen the market. This is just a disaster.
Have mansions lied abandoned now, or more people just leaving the property instead of living there?
People just leaving the property and say, yes. So there's a lot of empty mansions. People are leaving LA. Yeah. Wow. There you go. I mean, as if COVID wasn't bad enough for Hollywood and LA, completely destroyed the industry out there, or at least contributed to its destruction. How do you know that, Liz? Well, I'll tell you, people, because I do a lot of readings out of LA and Hollywood. I used to, and I still do, when people can get an appointment, they sort of text me, but, they would go for auditions, and out there, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, those of us that are non-Hollywood and LA people, when you audition for a part and you don't get selected, you never get any feedback why you don't get selected. You just don't get selected and you move on. Now, that is really heartbreaking for a lot of people who think that they're perfect for that Hollywood role, right? And they want me to probe I must have probed just about every casting director in Hollywood, Ronan. Did you know that? I probed the casting directors to find out why this person or these people were not selected to star in that role. And I do this on a regular basis. And COVID sort of put a dampener on a lot of this. And of course, now Hollywood is moving out into, things like Utah and Montana and different places, Colorado. They're sort of branching out because the laws are just so strict out there that it's forcing people into, not being able to be operable. So, those sorts of things were still going on, but Hollywood was pretty much going, at a standstill during COVID. And of course, as it started picking back up, the probes started coming in again. But yeah, I get asked frequently when people, various actors and actresses and, whatever roles that they play in Hollywood, why they weren't chosen for the job. Now, the reason they do that is so that they get that feedback in order to refine their skills. And the next audition, they'll bear it in mind and they'll go in. Or, a lot of times, if they have a huge audition coming up, I'll probe the casting director beforehand and find out exactly what they're looking for in that part. Now, that is quite successful as well. However, the casting directors can change their mind on the day, right? So maybe they believe, this, say somebody's going to play a homeless person who's straggly and we want a male for that role with a dog. And wait a minute, now maybe somebody in there has decided that, no, we want a female homeless person. So even though I'm probing like a few days out and I'm asking the casting director what they want at that moment, they could, the minds can always change. Most of the time they don't, but it can happen. But at least the person going for the audition knows exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah, I get a lot of requests for remote influencing too. People want me to affect someone else's judgment of, making someone else change their decision about something. And I tell them it doesn't quite work like that. You can't reverse someone's decision because they're on the life path and so are you. So that's one of the problems with people trying to get the job, that they want to get it. They just realize they're on a different life path.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we've given you a full scale version of what's going on with this mansion tax. Like I said, Josh Flagg, I can introduce you to the CTT. You'll love it. Call me, email me, email. I will call you back immediately.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Liz.
Bye.